Memory Emo Kids. Amanda and Robb here at the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. And on today's episode, we are joined by Dylan Hryciuk, and he is the director, creator of Our Last Days as Kids. It is a short film that you probably have seen advertised or showing up on your algorithm about kids in the scene. A very, to us, accurate look at what a lot of us had grown up going through when we were teenagers, loving the music, loving our friends. And it was a really interesting conversation to learn about, you know, just his upbringing and how he got into the music video scene, as well as now the film scene.
Yeah, just casually, besides making this film, the guy's got music videos with like Spiritbox and Senses Fail and stuff. Like no big deal. No big,
right?
No big.
Yeah.
And he did technically promise us a role in this film if we can. He did
promise his roles. Yeah. So let's make this happen so I can be a mom.
Yeah. I want to sell kids cigarettes in a movie so bad.
So bad.
That's all I can think about sometimes. Yeah, great time, Dylan, here, bud. Nice to have a good old Canadian kid on the show. The movie is set in Canada, and I don't think you need to be in Canada to understand it in any way, but there's nice little touches in there that made me feel feelings I didn't know I was capable of feeling anymore. So I would highly advise all of you to go check out this short film and stay on the loop, because we're hoping this becomes a full-length film. Before you do all that, though, follow us, subscribe, hit the buttons on the thing, the subscribe and the like and the notification stuff like that. That's super cool of you. If you can leave a comment, that'd be really fucking sick. A rating if this is on Spotify, all that stuff. Social media stuff's down there. Discord, neverphasenetwork.com, emokidsanonymous.com. And as always, this episode's brought to you by our friends over at Protege here, okay? You go to protege.com. There's like a fucking riot going on outside my home. What are you guys doing? They stopped. Go over to protege.com. You enter Emo Kids at checkout. You get your first bottle of Protege for only $10, okay? Take your face from fucked to fresh, just like that. It's good bro protection for bad bros, okay? After you use Emo Kids, you use Robb 40, ROBB 40% off for life here. Fix your face. And then grab yourself some popcorn and watch this. And then make yourself some popcorn and then go watch Our Last Days as Kids. And here's our conversation. Oh, yeah, we've never had a movie person. I don't know how to send it to the thing. Here's our conversation with Dylan. Here's our conversation with Dylan Hryciuk. Is this the way it's done? Oh, I'm not going to last. It's going to come out so quick. Dylan, your movie, this short film, it made me cry a couple times. I think I've told you in the past, like I grew up in Grand Prairie, Alberta. Oh, and cool. It was such like even if it's Saskatchewan, like it's such like a snapshot of like towny Canadian life, where just there's nothing going on, like besides the scenery and stuff. It's just like there's nothing going on. Like we lived in, compared to like small town in USA, like it's fucking Siberia. Like you might be in a small town in the States, but you'll still have like a big city 3 hours away or something. Like I'm going 5 hours to go to Edmonton, and no one here has ever heard of Edmonton besides the Oilers. You know, like it's a tough, empty place, and you captured it so fucking well.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. That was the goal. Like I'm not someone who, wants all my work to feel like, oh my God, I'm from Saskatchewan, so I want it to feel like Saskatchewan. I'm typically a music video director, and this was like my first go at narrative, because that's like what I truly want to do. And they always say like write what you know, and well, like what brought me into film was bands and stuff like this and this music scene. And so I was like, okay, well that's something I could write about. And it just made sense to write it about exactly what I know, where I'm from. And a lot of it is like, I think, obviously I didn't grow up in like the New York scene or whatever, but I think there's something special about having so little to do that it makes this music more exciting to you, these friendships that you form more exciting, because it's like, oh, this is everything, versus like, I'm sure if you go to shows in LA or whatever, it's like, oh, the shows are sweet.
Oh, they don't give a fuck. They don't care.
So is everything else.
Yeah, you can do anything in the world here, and it's like like I remember when Alexis on Fire came to town.
Mhm.
Is it Alex is on fire? Did we decide that? I think Catherine decided. Is Alex on
I
fire?
think it's Alexis.
I think it's
Okay,
Alexis on fire.
yeah. I'm gonna say how I fucking want, but I remember when they it was like 2006, and they booked a show like in Grand Prairie, like at the arena, and it was like kids from the football team like just skipped the game and stuff like that because it was such a big fucking deal. They played here. I remember the night the Raptors won the NBA championship, and me and my buddy went for like $6 or $7 or something like that. Like
Damn.
there's less to do. You're less jaded up there too, because like everything seems far away and you only know so much, so it's all like wondrous. Like
Mhm.
like I meet people that grew up here like totally in LA, and they're
Mhm.
like jaded as fuck and don't realize just little things where it's like you don't realize you grew up in like the center of the universe when you grow up in it. I'm like, you don't
Oh,
realize
yeah,
you have
that makes
everything
sense,
here.
yeah.
Like I grew up like my mom would be in Grand Prairie, but my dad would be in San Diego. So I'd spend like a third of the year in San Diego. So I would still like I'd kind of get the best of both worlds, and I'd see it, and like I'd kind of like think it was silly at times sometimes, but like in hindsight, like there's something like admirable about it and like exciting because you're just like so like starry-eyed almost, like
Totally.
shit's important.
Yeah, and I think you're able to make more beauty out of nothing by when you're
Yes.
surrounded by it. And sure, I was like, there's lines in the film that are like, clearly these kids resent the place that they're
Yeah.
from a little bit.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
Yeah,
Most
it's
of
the
us
same
did, yeah.
Yeah, same sentiment that you hear in like A Day to Remember
Yeah.
songs or whatever.
Yeah.
So to me, that was like really important. I don't know if the film would be the same if it took place in like a bigger. To me, like Saskatoon is the biggest city in Saskatchewan, but
Yeah.
in the grand scale of things, even that big
Yeah,
city
yeah.
is like a small town.
I was just Amanda. Do you
Yeah.
know about Saskatoon or Regina or anywhere?
Yeah.
Like,
Nope, I
Yeah.
do not. Now, I
Yeah.
did not grow up in a big city in America either, but so I resonate with the film in that respect because it reminds me of like I grew up in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, which yeah. So I mean, we had the
Hey, our
closest city
film
was
played there.
in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Not in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, but it played in
There's a
Pennsylvania.
field.
Oh, in Phoenixville, outside of Philly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm,
Yes.
Yes. I went to school in Philadelphia, so like in college, but like my formative years were spent in the middle of nowhere. So like it's like and it's interesting because the film still reminds me of that time period so vividly, even though I'm not from Canada at all.
Cool. Well,
yeah.
yeah, the hope was that it would. Once again, I don't want to make something that's like so niche that it's like you have to be from Saskatchewan or
No.
like the prairies to get it. But also, hopefully, it is like something that's speaking for a lot of people who grew up in like
Oh yeah.
the Midwest, like the Midwest scene. I hope
Oh, I
people
think
get it. I hope
Chicago,
people
like that area. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
grew up in the suburbs out there, if you grew up even 40 minutes outside of Chicago, you'll still have the same feeling. Kids in New
Yeah.
Jersey, like we've talked about before, like New Jersey, the reason a lot of the good bands came from there is because like New York City's so close yet so far. It feels like you're stuck. It's the same feeling that you have whether it's Alberta, Saskatchewan, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, Virginia. Like it's the same
Totally.
and
Yeah.
there's nice little subtle nods. Like there's a Nexopia reference in there.
Yeah.
Do you remember your Nexopia name by chance, Dylan?
I think mine was the same as my MySpace, which was X Dylan Styles X.
Sick.
And it's like the
Beautiful.
most embarrassing reason why. Which if you're Canadian, you might get this reference, but there was a guy on Canadian Idol, and his name was Liam Styles Chang, and he was like the most emo person on
what the
Idol that I've ever seen. He had the crazy long swoop, and I just thought he was like the coolest. I think he's from Victoria. And so, yeah, I had
that's
like the
why you-
long, crazy hair. So I was like, oh
Uh-huh.
my God, that has to be my MySpace handle and Nexopia and stuff. Yeah.
Low key, I thought
Beautiful.
Nexopia was cooler than MySpace and Facebook were.
Yeah, I think it definitely was more underground. I didn't know until we were like making this movie that it was like a Canadian, even like a Western Canada thing.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think it was
w-
even as popular. Yeah, in like Toronto and shit. No.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. So
Yeah.
that is like I guess like, yeah, trying to write something that's authentic to me. There's going to be those few things that are really niche.
Yeah.
But then I think, people will compare it to like, oh man, they should have put like Vampire Freaks in there or whatever. Like there's other
Yeah.
websites like that correlate. Same with like we have a nod to, and in the movie we want to write, there's more of the internet, but there's like
Yeah,
a
makes sense.
MSN reference in the
That
short
was
film just on the screen.
They used AIM here.
And you got yeah.
Some people used MSN. It just was
Okay,
not
yeah.
as popular.
My
dad
MSN
did.
and my
My
Nexopia,
dad
I'm
used
realizing.
MSN. Does that count?
Yeah. Both of mine were Alkaline Trio references. I remember. Yeah, Crimson Hands was my Nexopia, and Fatally
Nice.
Yours 21 would have been my MSN at Hotmail. You know.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I got my MSN really early, so mine was a Sum 41 reference. Mine was Sum _ of _ darkness 41.
Sick.
Beautiful.
Wow.
But I was
I
like,
love it.
I don't know, in like grade 4 when I made my MSN, so that's crazy.
Oh my God. That's amazing. So you're going to be
Incredible.
making a full-length film, or you're trying to.
Well, that's the
hope,
goal.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about that process. So what are you taking from the short film? Are you taking all the elements and then just expanding the story of Casey and his friends? Like, what's that going to look like? Or do you know, kind of like have an idea what you want it to look like?
Yeah, so I actually have the feature written. The feature was written kind of before
Beautiful.
the short.
Okay.
So we were kind of doing both at one time, and I had a short film, but it wasn't fully conveying the thing I wanted. And then I realized that's because what I'm trying to make is actually a feature.
Yeah.
So then I developed the feature. It was a little after we got financed. For a moment, we thought, oh my God, there might be a chance to really make a run for the feature. So we went all in, and I spent like a year writing the feature film. And then when that didn't fully happen, we were like, oh, well, actually, I love what I've written here more. Let's pull from this to make the short film. And so the short film's 15 pages pulled from like a 100-page feature.
Yeah.
So it's like an abridged version of one of two main storylines. So
Okay.
all those, like, Casey's still the main character. Casey's based on me.
That makes sense.
And the whole feature film starts with, so the show that you see at the beginning of the short film, where it's just like some random metalcore band that he's filming, in the movie, that's his older brothers.
Okay.
So it's all, and it's these older brothers that, like, to him, they're like his whole world. Like, when I was younger, my dream was not to become a director. My dream was for my brother's band to become like the next The Devil Wears Prada. That was like, oh my God, that's all so I'd be on their MySpace adding people. I'd be shooting their videos and uploading them. And no, I wasn't their manager, but I was like trying to do promo for them. Yeah, exactly. And so the film kind of starts with that. He's this kid filming this band. He's like a little bit under the thumb. They treat him not the greatest because he's the youngest of three. It's not until he meets these friends that he's able to start exploring who he is beyond his brothers, because he even found this music, his identity, through his brothers. And then he meets these kids who are like from, they're not like from middle class households. So he's like learning about that through all of them. He's exploring his own identity, sexuality, all those kind of things. And in the feature film, it's not until both of those things kind of are falling apart that he's able to realize, well, not realize, but like the whole point of the film is you can't find yourself through other people.
That's true.
So he's only replaced his brothers with this friend group. They're kind of doing the same thing.
The same way,
as you see in the short film, where the relationship kind of falls through, that's a lot more developed in the feature film.
Okay.
And there's a nicer, less open-endedness to it in the feature film.
Okay.
But then it all like culminates in like the band falling apart too, in case he's just like feels like he has nothing. But it's not until that happens that he's able to like look at himself and be
those
like,
are my like, I think of my favorite music movies. That's how they go. Like That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of like break apart there, because like that's the actual story with 99.99999% of bands and things in life.
Yeah.
Like there's this Bruce Springsteen song "Racing in the Street," and he talks about writing it. And he had this. He's like, okay, the first couple of verses are about racing with your buddies. Then the last verse, I just started, talking about this girl, and Steve is basically like, that's the end of the story. That's how the story goes. The guy's doing these things, and then he meets a girl, and the story changes completely. Like that. There's no big fucking magical thing. Just like life happens.
For sure. And yeah, I've watched a few movies where it's like you watch like say like a Bohemian Rhapsody or
Yes.
whatever, and it's always about like this epic band's like rise and becoming the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
And like I want to do the opposite, where it's like it's about the like it's a little bit of an ode to the local bands that never do make it. Because I
Yeah.
think, you know, my brother's band was like the most important thing to me at that time, and I think there's a lot of bands like that for people who didn't become like a Bring Me or a
No,
Yep.
Prod or
those
whatever.
are the
and it's
ones.
like,
Those are the ones that got away.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I
and
think
probably
about God Omen, this like hardcore band from Red Deer that played like the local
Totally.
like church, and it's like I think about like they were just as important to me as like
Mhm.
Blink-182 was in their own way, and it's like nobody knows who the fuck they are. You know, they're regular guys now,
Yeah.
but like
yeah. And so I want it to be a little bit of a note, even though it like, yeah, it doesn't end well in the movie for that band. It's like, but you were so important to certain people that you don't even know. And like there
Exactly.
was probably a kid who picked up a guitar because they saw some local band. Like I
Mhm.
think of now I do music videos and stuff, and I was just
Yeah.
working with like Lorna Shore, and I'm thinking like, oh, what were the bands that Will was watching that made him decide he
Mhm.
wanted to scream? Like we have a little bit of that in the
It's true.
music video we did, and it's like, yeah, those local bands are pivotal. It's not just the big bands that you watch on YouTube or found on
Yeah.
MySpace. It's also like your local scene.
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah,
locals, those are
100%.
the ones that make you realize like, hey, we should do this. Like it's
Yeah.
we could do this. Like those are just guys that live here. It's not
Exactly.
yeah.
And
Totally.
you can see that from like the bands that we all love. They will talk about the bands that they saw in their
Yeah.
youth that shaped them. That honestly are not famous, but they were hardcore bands that they would go to into basement shows for, and all of a sudden they're the ones who make them want to become. And they, of
Totally.
course, get famous, and then that's great. But yeah, they always
H-
pay ode to those who came before them.
How did you get into directing music videos, especially like living somewhere so remote, you know? It's got to be a
That's it.
little
Yeah, that's
difficult.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's been a weird journey. A big part of it is once again my brother's band. Like because I never saw like I was always a really like creative kid. So like, you know, at one point I thought I wanted to make like the next Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I moved on to
Beautiful.
like trying to make RPG video
Yu-Gi-Oh,
games.
like Yu-Gi-Oh's like
It's like Pokemon.
it's like
and
Like the
Pokemon.
tra-
It's
yeah,
like
it's trading card
characters,
game.
right?
Yeah.
yeah, like a trading card game.
Did you start designing like different like
Yeah, like I had a whole game built, and my parents bought me
Wow.
like a laminating machine, and we printed backs, and I was selling them to kids at school. And so, and that was like
Entrepreneur.
grade, I don't know, 5 or something. So I was like,
you were hustling the nerds in grade the other also first person ever on this show that also refers to grades the Canadian way. Wow. That
Oh.
slipped by me so fast. I was like, oh shit, I've never heard that on here.
Yeah, and then I wanted to make video games. Eventually, I got into stop motion, and then it was, you know, my brother's band started, and my family had like a camcorder, so I would just like film things,
Yeah.
start filming their band. Eventually, like other bands would come up to me and be like, "Oh, like, can you film our band?" and whatever.
Wow.
And a high school teacher like took notice because I was in the video class too, and took notice that this was like
Your thing.
my thing, to the point that in grade 12 I was the only one who applied for the video class, so they were gonna like, sorry, it can't happen, but instead they designed a whole class around me. Like I had a class of my own, and we
Wow.
had a film school come and talk to our school, and my teacher was like, I really think you could do this for like a living.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to think of it as a career. I did shoot my brother's first music video when I was in high school, and so that was like, oh shit, that was awesome. Which actually, also I ended up there was like a local, maybe you know about it. There was a local music festival called Maz Fest that was in Saskatoon, but like
Mhm.
bands from a lot of Western Canada, but all over would come
Mhm.
play this. And I was like the guy who filmed all the Maz Fest videos.
Oh,
Sick.
wow.
And so some of the bands I filmed there was a band called Fallen Archaea and Unicron, which are the bands, the two bands that have members that now are Spiritbox.
Okay.
So that's like how that relationship started.
Spiritbox is
Now,
Canadian, right?
yeah, they're from
Okay.
Victoria,
Oh,
but
shit.
they live in LA now.
Sellouts.
I've done 7 videos for them, but yeah, I went to film school, loved it. I couldn't afford to live in Vancouver. I moved back because I was also in a long distance relationship with
Okay.
my now wife,
Oh,
who I
wow.
met in high school.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah, we've been
Beautiful.
together longer than we haven't. We have a crazy long story, I guess. But I moved back and got a like kind of shitty corporate video job.
Yeah.
Worked there for a year, wasn't for me. And then I was like, man, like how do I like make stuff for myself? And then finally started like saving money and was like, I'll just make my own company. And like, even if I do corporate, at least I'm in control. It feels a little bit more creative. So I started Versa Films 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I got bored again because I was getting corporate work and I was actually making like decent money.
Yeah, those gigs pay nice, but
What were you like doing, like
Yeah.
HR
doing this 'cause you're
videos and
creative,
stuff?
and it's like this fucking.
Yeah, not for me.
My best buddy, one of my best buddies in Canada, I used to do a YouTube show with him, and like it's super fun. We do this weird stuff. I'd send him footage, and he same thing, where it's just like very insecure work all the time, like just in between jobs and gigs, and then he like basically is the main video guy for the city of Grand Prairie now, and it's like,
Oh, cool.
I think he enjoys the job, but it's like he's still be like, bro, like every time we'll post something kind of remotely cool or like that we're doing, he's like, what if I flew down there? You just gotta like raise up like $8,000. You just fly me down there and come do that, and like I'll bring 5 cameras. We do this, and I'm like, I feel you, like you want to do something fun that you can sink your teeth into, but you're gonna have to fucking pay your own way, Joel. Like,
Yeah. Totally. So that is kind of, I pivoted my company 4 years in,
Okay.
which was a crazy pivot because it was like, what if I made less money, but made things I cared about more? And Spiritbox was kind of this
relatable. Yeah,
it was a gamble. Spiritbox were one of the first because like, Courtney and Mike, I guess, did I Wrestled a Bear once for a little bit, and that helped their profile. But then they were like restarting, and so they were like an internet band. They started posting some like DIY music videos, and it was getting, I don't know, like 70 to 100,000 views. And I was like, oh man, like if I could attach my name to this and like what my kind of work, like who knows what that could be. So I just, on the off chance, was like, I'll reach out to them, but maybe they're like too big for me now. I don't know. And they were like, hell yeah, like we're gonna fly you down. I offered to do a free video, so it was a pretty good deal on both sides. And that was kind of what started it, and that's been the main thing that has gotten me any sort of like notoriety in the music video world. But being in Saskatchewan is a big thing that like holds it back from really expanding.
Yeah.
Flights are tough. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you combat that to stay ahead of the game?
I don't know. I'm still like navigating that. Like I think we have a very small film industry just because Saskatchewan itself is small. It's not like an art hub. But there's like a few people that I've made relationships where we're like super in it, and like how can we make things that people don't expect to happen here. So when like Spiritbox, I've shot 4 of their music videos in Saskatchewan.
Oh, beautiful.
And then some I like fly down to them. Or we did one in Toronto all together and stuff. So it depends. I will say more bands are like seeking me to go elsewhere, but that's its own thing because it's like, okay, I'm gonna go work with 100% people I don't know.
Yeah.
In a different country or 1,000 miles away, and I have to buy a flight and a hotel room. And
my last Lorna Shore video was in New Jersey, and we were comparing.
How'd you like New Jersey?
I liked it for what I saw.
What part of Jersey? What part of Jersey?
We were in a small town that Will grew up in, so it wasn't like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we shot a little bit in Brooklyn, so not Jersey. That's in New York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we shot a little bit there, and then his small town. I don't know if he wants me to say it. You can look up his small town.
We'll look it up. Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, what was the address there at that hole?
What happened to the actual address?
But it was so crazy because, and obviously, thank God they're a big enough band that they had a real budget. But like, I had done a music video in Saskatchewan that was like similar scope, and the difference in price was like 4 times more expensive. Like the house that we rented was as much as the full music video I had done for a different band.
That's quite.
So
That's crazy.
So there are pros to coming to Saskatchewan. There's like limited things we can do. So I do a lot of like narrative stuff that involves like, real people, like relationship
In a
stories or
house,
like
yeah.
family dramas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've watched Spiritbox's stuff, but the one I'm most known for is one called Constance, which is
It's
about
about your
like,
grandmother, right?
it is about my grandma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that one like did really well and
Mhm.
whatever, but it's, it's a very like human. We don't have like crazy warehouses to shoot in
No.
or
Yeah.
green screen studios and
Yeah.
VFX people here. So I'd like to like break out. I'm going to be doing right now. I'm working on like 6 music videos with the artists I haven't worked with, and we're trying to do all of them in Toronto, just so
Okay.
I can like explore kind of bigger hubs.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
So
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
popular.
and
there's
like
probably
trying to
some-
do different things.
Yeah. Because you could probably partner with some like VFX houses out there in Toronto and things like that. You may not be able to in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and there's like lots of like one of the projects I pitched involves like larger animals. so
Oh,
so I was like, you can't get that here. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just like a very
Like at
they
the
have
zoo,
an
What
animal.
larger
kind of
animals?
larger animals? What is that? What do you mean? Like a
Go to
big
Toronto
dog or
Zoo?
like a bear?
no, or like an
Right now-
elephant.
Right now we're talking about a bear.
Oh, okay.
But
May I
Which
recommend
where do you
Kentucky?
rent a
We
bear?
got
Where do you-
bears, and they also smoke. They also like snort cocaine. So may I recommend Kentucky?
There you
Just
go.
saying, that's
there
it.
you go. Yeah, I should go there. Yeah, but we like are in contact with the guy who does like he owns a zoo, but all his zoo animals, well, not all of them, but like has a bunch that they have a film studio attached to the zoo.
Oh, cool. Okay,
So they like
I didn't know you
train
could own a
animals
zoo.
to be in movies, and yeah, I don't know.
Come on,
It
leave
sounds
the Tiger
crazy.
King in
I thought he went to.
US.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
If he can
yeah, I
own
guess.
tigers randomly,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
There's some motherfuckers owning bears out there.
Would
This
you
makes
ever
sense
want to
now.
go shoot at the X-Men house in Toronto?
Hell yeah, that'd be
Because that
sick.
would be friggin' awesome. I've got a chance to visit it back in like 2018, and I was like, this is amazing.
What's the X-Men
That's-
house? What is this? Like the film?
Yeah, like the X-Men films. It's a big mansion.
Like their
they-
school,
they
right?
did the school.
Yeah, their
the
school. It's
Okay,
yeah, the
okay.
Xavier School. Yeah, like and you
Okay,
could go
fine, yeah.
into it, and the other films have also filmed there. It's just for me, it's the X-Men. So that's what
Magical.
yeah.
Mhm.
Magical.
It's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
think
The-
there's a
the
bunch
gardens are
of Scott
gorgeous.
Pilgrim locations there too, because they shot Scott Pilgrim all in Toronto, so that'd be cool.
Mhm. That would be
We
cool.
almost shot in, I don't know what film it was in, but we almost shot in a famous hospital in, can't remember if it was Vancouver or Victoria for Spiritbox,
Oh.
but then we ended up getting an abandoned hospital in Saskatchewan that was like, oh, we could be in here for weeks prepping this hospital. Because in Saskatchewan, if
'Cause,
you
yeah,
find
nobody
it,
else-
people
yeah.
are like,
That feels
yeah,
so
sure,
creepy.
you wanna-
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
we're not
it was
booking it
actually
out.
crazy. So it was for Perfect Soul, which is our last music video we did together, and we wanted it to look like elements of the ocean were entering this hospital.
Okay.
So my employee, who's an incredible art director, she was like collecting all this like seaweed and driftwood and stuff and bringing
Oh.
it into the hospital. We had a dump truck that brought all the sand to the,
Oh,
the hospital.
I love
So we just made
practical
an
effects.
absolute disaster out of this hospital. We had this Emmy-nominated makeup artist fly from Toronto to make this like monster that looks like
Sick.
he's made out of like the sea floor. And
Awesome.
yeah, it was crazy. But so my employee is in that hospital with a small art team for like every day for like 2 weeks preparing for
Yeah.
this video. And at night, there were people sneaking into the hospital to steal its copper. So it was like genuinely like scary.
That's the most like trailer park
I
boys
mean-
shit I've ever heard. Like, yeah, they're fucking busting in and taking the
Copper's
fucking
worth the
copper
money.
wiring, boys. Yeah.
But then they'd see our team like doing weird shit, like putting in seat, like the room would look totally flipped upside down. So there'd be times where they'd like see a guy with like a flashlight on their head, like look at them and then be like, "What the hell?" and like leave.
Oh, that
And
would
you're
be
like,
so
"Oh,
creepy.
man.
This is
Yeah, the
sketchy."
copper wire crowd is easy to spook. I'll tell you how much.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
easy. They're kind of
Yeah.
like deer, you know? Like,
There's nothing scarier than people working on music videos. So
yeah.
I
You see a
believe
motherfucker with a flashlight, you go the other way. Yeah, I do at least.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's it like transitioning from working on like a music video a like a film, either a short film or your feature length, where you're having, obviously there's more dialogue and you're, with a music video, you're telling the story you through the song, right? But in this case,
Mhm.
you're now telling the story in a different manner. So what's the difference there for you? Is there like a difference in how you approach it, um, you know, whenever you're creating it and coming up with those ideas, or what's that look like?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like, it was both harder and less hard
Okay.
than I expected, only because like I'm kind of known as like the narrative guy. Like a lot of my videos are like, oh, he tells like
Yeah.
full little movies.
Mm-hmm.
And like I will write dialogue. We don't hear it, but I will write like little dialogue for them
Yeah.
to go
Yeah.
through, or and so I think that translated really well. But
Yeah.
when you have sound, and you don't have like the music, I'm telling full stories in 4 minutes. It's you can almost tell less when you have to hear everything and have to give you can't just
Yep.
like show a quick thing if someone hands something to someone and be like,
Yes.
oh, okay,
No, when I
that's the
started
full.
watching it, like, because there's not a lot of dialogue, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I thought the whole movie was going to be no dialogue, and I was like, this is magical. Like, it's like, yeah, you
And
can
then
tell so much of a story. Yeah, and then they
It's like
motherfuckers
that.
start talking, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know this guy. This Casey guy seems like a dick. No, but but it creates this like wonder there. Where same thing watching a music video, like, yeah, you might see some mouths moving, and like, but it's like you can kind of create your own thing in this. You're
Yeah.
painting your own story, and then the words come in, and then you're in full control of painting the story.
Totally.
Which
And we
is
were trying to use even some of the music to like, because the music's so important to.
Yeah.
We're always listening to music. You get out of a show and then you put your headphones in and you're listening to
Yep.
music. And almost every time the lyrics of the songs that we picked, like, this is gonna sound cheesy, but when he's listening to like Under Oath right
Yeah.
before
right as he's
the
leaving
friends come up, the lyrics are like up against
up
the
against the
wall,
wall. Yeah,
as he's literally up
against
against
the
the
wall outside the convenience store.
yeah.
What convenience store was
Beautiful.
that? Like a Max? What was that? What was it supposed to
No,
be?
it was a local. It was a
Okay.
local. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just out of all the ones we looked at, it still had kind of these like nostalgic floors and stuff.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, to your question, just dialogue was like the thing I was most scared of, like fully writing dialogue, trying
Yeah.
to like make characters feel authentic and like each
Mhm.
individual. Because the one note I kept getting on my script were like, oh, they all sound the same, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but like when you get into the scene,
That's
You
kind of
kind of
how
all
everyone
your
did talk
friends
the
all
same.
sound the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like we all talk the same, but we might say it in like the hardest thing to explain is like when Rodney, because he was like the hardcore kid, and he's based on
Mhm.
kids that weren't always the nicest in the scene to me.
Yeah.
But when he says something that sounds mean, he like means it. But then
Yeah.
when Alex says it, she like there's a sweetness
It's a
underneath.
playful thing, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then Casey, when he's trying to do it, he's trying to meet them where they're at, but he's not there. He's like this kid who like comes from like a Christian, like he's
Yeah.
like Christcore.
Yeah.
He's trying to be like,
He's
cool.
like,
He's been listening to a lot of Hawk Nelson and shit. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, sure, some of the words that they all use are similar because that to me is like the scene. We were all like a little bit like edgelords and stuff.
Yeah.
But it all
And I
comes
think
from
also too is
different
like there's
places.
like there's less diversity in a way too in those places. So like you're all kind of like it's a lot more homogenized. Whereas like if my
Totally.
kids at a school here, like of his 5 kids in his like that I think of in his class, like they all have different backgrounds. Their families might be from different places, so there's different.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like my mom grew up in Grand Prairie, and then we moved back to Grand Prairie. Like everyone's kind of maybe they're second generation Canadian from like the Ukraine or something like that. But like
Yeah.
it's a lot of we
We're
all
all
did
Ukrainian.
talk the fuck right. Yeah, that's a weird. That's what
I'm
I was.
Ukrainian.
They were like we can't like how do you say his last name? And I was like I bet you I can figure it out because it's Canadian. It's a Canadian name in my head. Like I saw it. I'm like no that's a Canadian name because it's different kind of different cultures coming in, especially like that Western
Yeah.
Prairie Canada, like a lot of pierogies.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
think what people
pierogies.
forget about our that time period is, we didn't have a lot of the internet. Everyone, if you were in your friend group, everyone tended to
Yeah,
have
you're all
similarities
watching
in
the
a lot
same
of ways.
movie.
we can't,
Yeah.
this is not diversity 2026 where everyone's going to be slightly different. We're not going to have like a, it's, we all, you're in a friend group for a reason.
Yeah, you didn't have your own algorithm yet.
Yeah, you're in a
We all
friend
had the
group
same
for a
fucking
reason
feed.
because you all kind of thought similar and acted similarly because you all assimilated to each other's how you talked and acted and dressed. And I think that some people forget that happened.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did getting the music work? Like, did you have to get permission, or is it a different story when it's a short film? Because I was like, fuck, like it was because it's very early when like the Under Oath happens. I was like, oh, this motherfucker got Under Oath, like shit.
Yeah, it was the longest process of the whole film, and the thing that like if I ever get to do the feature, because I want like so much music in it, like there's supposed to be moments like I picture the opening of the movie to be like he puts in a burnt CD and he's flipping through songs to find the song to listen to then like he's getting ready for a show or whatever.
Yeah.
That's almost not fair of you to fucking do that too early in the movie. Like you're just gonna fucking spam needle drops at the beginning. Like,
but I want that.
That's some Scorsese and Goodfellas
I would love it though.
shit.
Gosh.
Your lipstick is collar, Hawthorne, like,
like all those TikToks that you see that just like,
that's my exact thought. You're gonna do that, but it's gonna be on a burst. Like that's like a crack rock to people between the ages of like 33 and 43. Like that's almost mean of you to do.
Oh, damn! So good. I'll rewrite it.
No, leave it in. Yeah, please leave it in. I want that crack.
But
rock.
I'm like, it's probably gonna make the movie like so much more expensive, but like to me it's such an important component of like when they're walking, like most of the music, sure there's some score, but most of the music is like diegetic, like the first makeout session being to like a heavy song playing or whatever. In that scene in the feature film when they first like kind of hook up, originally she plays like a Job for a Cowboy song, like it's like this heat of the moment thing, and then she plays her thing and it's Job for a Cowboy and it's like sick, but then it's like, oh shit, like wrong song for the mood. And then they change, so you only hear a little bit, but it's like hearing it for those little moments is to me what makes it feel more authentic.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Those are your heels you're dying on. You're like, I
that's to me the most important part is like I need a lot of music and a lot of like specific bands, or else it just doesn't, like I've had other people be like, oh, you should get like make your own fake bands and blah blah blah, and like do your own from first to last, and it'll be so much cheaper. And I'm like, then there's no point. Like I'd rather not make that movie. For the short film, we had a music supervisor reach out to like all the labels and stuff. There was some like we had a little bit of pull with almost all of them. It was like a weird, like the Dead and Divine one, which is Goodnight Quiet City, the song that plays when they like kiss and stuff. The singer of that band is the guy who designed our movie poster, so he's like a pretty famous movie poster designer now. Was like my hero as a preteen, and he got it right away, paid for the poster, the song was free. He was like, absolutely, you'll use it.
I love that.
The Senses Fail song.
I don't know if Adam Lazzara makes movie posters though, so
we don't know what he does.
Yeah, he might. He fucking might. Yeah.
I need everyone to do movie posters.
Great, it's just a lot of posters.
Yes,
he got other shit. Yeah.
Patrick Stump scores if you need someone to do that. He scores movies. Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy scores music.
That is totally an in. We need to contact Patrick Stump to score the movie, and then he'll be like, oh, and I'll hook you up with everything else.
When you hear from him, tell him he needs to come on here too. So if you get a hold of him, let us know. We've been trying.
I'm sure you'll have a chance before I will.
I hope so.
Senses Fail, I had done a music video for them.
Perfect.
Which actually was the turning point for me realizing I wanted to make this movie / short film. Like that was when I got the project, I literally thought I was getting like punked. I got an email and I was like, there's no fucking way. Like this has to be a joke. Cause I was a big Senses Fail fan as a teen. And I heard the song and it felt like so throwbacky that I had been thinking about this movie and I was like, oh, I wonder if I could do like a small version of what I would hope that movie would feel like one day.
Sick.
So I made like an abridged version. So you actually get, there's a lot of like seedy family stuff that not that's a bad way to describe it. The girl has
Yeah.
a father who is sleeping around and stuff, like, very openly, and she
Okay.
just has to, like, walk past in, like, whatever, and then you see her kind of having toxic relationships with guys and stuff at her house, and there's aspects of that in the feature film that I've written. So there was, like,
Okay.
stuff of, like, almost elements of her home, like, the Alex character's home life
Okay.
that is part of the feature. So that was, like, proving ground, and when I shot it, so there's actually the same the girl who plays Alex is in that music video. The guy who plays Rodney has, like, bright red hair in that music
Oh,
video.
wow.
And it was, like, the best time of my life, and it literally felt like, oh my god, this person. So the Alex character is based on, like, my first girlfriend as a 13,
Oh.
14-year-old.
Uh-huh.
And she's still, like, a good friend of mine, very important, like, pivotal person for me at that time. And so when I shot that music video, I was like, oh my god, it's like literally being with friends I haven't seen in 10 years. So it felt really special, and it was I'm not I don't have, like, the most confidence in the world, and so when I shot that video, it was, like, the most confident I felt of, like, I know what I'm doing here.
You're like, fuck,
Yeah.
And
I can do
yeah,
this.
I know this world, like, and then that turned into, like, I need to finally make something for myself,
Yeah.
which is, like,
Yeah.
the short
I
film
love that.
movie thing.
Exactly.
And
So
you could tell that too, because it's like that era, especially in like the last like 5 years or so, is very. It's something people and companies are trying to capitalize on. You know, that
And they're
like
not
nostalgia
some are
thing.
not doing a great job of that
They're not
either.
doing a great job of it because
Mm-mm.
like it's like fucking Bane. You think the darkness is your friend. Like I grew up in this. I was raised in this kind of thing. I can tell these stories. This was my world.
yeah,
You're a fucking suit
yeah,
trying to, capitalize on something that was like a fad for you for a second. But for someone
Yeah.
like you, like this was the most
yeah,
important part of my life. I remember every second.
yeah. Did you ever watch? And I don't want to, like, throw too much shade because who knows where my future can go. But did you ever watch Metal Lords at all on Netflix?
Yes, I did watch Metal Lords on Netflix. Yeah,
Uh,
I did. I
and
remember
it
that
it
movie.
it felt very exactly what you're describing.
Yeah.
Like, studio heads who
Yes.
are like, I've heard of kids who like metal. That'll be a fun movie. And it
Yep.
just feels so, like, commercial. And I was like, what bands do they know? They know Metallica. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
They're all,
okay.
and there's like little things that are like, it's like making you wouldn't like both those bands. That band wasn't part of that. Little things
No.
where it's like, okay, maybe like I look at stuff now, like they lump in like even like a Simple Plan and Good Charlotte with us back,
Mm,
and it's like they were good bands, great gateway bands, but like you wouldn't have been listening to them openly with Senses Fail or Under Oath in the
No,
same
you
way,
wouldn't
kind
have.
of thing. Like
That's
you
actually,
would
Not
have
at all.
still listened to them maybe, but you would have been a little,
yeah.
you would have like we were kind of embarrassed about it.
There's that actually is in the feature film. This is the biggest band that so I've already given up of, like, there's no way My Chemical Romance will ever allow us to use their music in the film.
It's a tough one.
But I do hope
Yeah.
for The Used, because The Used is my first
Burt would.
band
I
that was
think
like,
Burt would. I think Burt would. Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
the other than they had
Burt.
music in Transformers. I'm like,
I
oh,
feel like
Okay, that
because
song is
they
great.
grew up in
Transformers.
buttfuck or Utah.
yeah.
There was some like I remember like watching like you watch the Taste of Ink video. Does the Taste of Ink video not feel like Saskatchewan to you? Like does it not kind of almost feel like your movie? Like where it's like there's nothing to do here. We're working these shitty jobs. Like
That's a good point.
like that I feel like they
Bring that
'cause
up when you email them.
all my
Yeah.
buddies loved The Used too. The Used was like the band in Granbury too.
But when we were getting into, like, the scene, like, as soon as it was like metalcore and stuff like that, it was like, oh, The Used wasn't like,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
we pretended that we didn't. So there's a big storyline in the film where, like, Casey likes The Used and he's, whatever. And there's this thing where, like, they're talking about Alex's past and how she had a big heart on for Burt McCracken and stuff. And she's like, fuck off. Like, that was when I was like 14 or whatever. And in the end, she, like, finally admits that, like, because a lot of her stories, like, Alex is someone who puts up walls. And so
Yeah.
everything she says might
I
not be her absolute truth. Where
Yeah.
Casey's kind of the opposite. Like, I
He's-
have, like, an inability to lie,
Yeah.
to
Heart
my
on your
own
sleeve
detriment.
kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, you're the sweet guy that's like the I can't think of the like in the Sandlot or something like that. Like you're newer to it, so you're like, yeah, who's Babe Ruth? You know, like you don't who's
Totally.
you know, like you're
Yeah.
you don't
I'm
know
like,
the lore and the rules and the ethics yet.
totally. And it's not until the end where like finally they kind of like, I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but I guess it doesn't matter. But there's a little mending after the like breakup
Yeah.
scenario, which is very true to my life. And at the very end, she talks about being full of shit, and she's like, she still listens to the Used, and then like to me, it'd be like, so that's like a running little through line, and it's like, so the end credits should be like the Used.
Oh,
So it's
I
like
would
it
love
all
that.
plays through, and a part of me is like, oh, should it be like I'm a fake, because it's like everyone
Right?
in
I'm
the
like, what
scene's
is the
faking
song?
it a
What is
little
the song
bit.
right there?
Yeah, what would be the song that you would start with?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that would be a good.
But
What's
that,
Oh my god, the fucking box of sharp, like it goes black and has that dun dun dun, like oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you gotta
there's
get
a
the Used,
lot
Right.
of,
motherfucker. Ooh.
I don't know. There's so much I could do with the Used, and that's like that would be like the peak big band that I'd want. And then like
Yeah.
there's a lot that I want to be those bands that are like, oh, they were big to us at the time, but maybe bands that never fully got their dues. That I think, if this movie caught on, as like, I'd want people to learn about like the fall of Troy through this movie.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Could be a
So
killer
I don't know.
soundtrack for this movie,
Right,
by the
I'm
way.
so into.
Because
Yeah, you
soundtracks
got
need to
me.
come back. So
I talk so much shit on
Yeah.
nostalgia, and you got me here with like a fucking needle in my arm over this. I'm just like, yeah, fuck, oh.
The whole movie's just needle
Slip some
drops. You
boys'
just watch
night
a
out
kid
and-
listening to an album.
Right?
There's
yeah,
a big,
I'll
That'd
go.
be fantastic.
there's a
Yeah,
big,
buying tickets.
and we do mention in the short, but there's like a Enter Shikari's another one, because that was a really
Yes.
big. Because so the L character is based on like, I had a friend. Well, she's based on two people: a girl I dated and this other girl I was friends with, who was like super into ecstasy, went to raves, was like getting into. She was like too sweet and good, but kind of also like a party girl who was getting herself into trouble. Like
Yeah,
would be going to raves with like 30-year-old dudes at like 16.
yeah.
So that's like who
Remember
she's
that.
based off of, and she loved Enter Shikari. And like, it was funny, and originally it was never written to be someone not from Canada, but our actor we met off of Instagram,
Oh.
and yeah, they applied, and like we had mutual. They're like a musician, and we had like mutual fans, I guess. And when they auditioned, I was like, you're like exactly my character, other than you're from the UK. I never pictured that. But then there were so many things that like made sense to the storyline that we had written. Even like, so it's my favorite part of the film, but when she's talking about like the blobfish analogy of like
blobfish,
Casey's the blobfish, and Casey has no idea what she's talking about. But when I met Andromeda, who plays Elle, she was like obsessed with the ocean and knew everything about like every ocean animal and had all these like weird ocean facts. And I'm like, how is that? Like, this was such a random, like, I'm trying to capture this person I knew, and somehow they
Jeez.
just like were this
Oh, I
thing
love
I
that.
wrote without me even knowing. I don't know.
Sick.
It was like magic.
Yeah.
But Enter Shikari has like a really important through line through the feature as well. Yeah.
I have a proposal for you here. If the full
Sure.
length, if we can get some funding on this and the like going, I would like to put in my name to request a cameo. Let me be the guy.
Oh.
I will fly. Let me be the motherfucker working at the gas station,
That's what I was
pumping
like,
gas.
yes,
I don't
that's-
care what it is. I don't
Make him
care.
the attendant at the
Give me 3 seconds. I want to be a part of that. Like movies,
that'd
you
be
understand the film. They're casting. Netflix is casting influencers.
I don't know. At
You
this
got,
point,
like,
I'd
a
be a
little
mom
influence.
if that happened. At
Yeah.
this point, I'd
Hell
be
yeah.
the mom of someone. Oh, God. I
Right?
think I
Yeah.
could pull that off.
Make us one of their fucking parents. I don't know, bro.
I could
like
do that.
just throwing it
I'll
out
have to
there.
hide my
Have
tattoo.
your
Yeah,
people
that'd
talk to my people.
Robb's
Hey,
throwing
there
himself
will
out
be
there.
zillion. If the movie ever happens, there will be like so many opportunities for cameos of sorts.
never
The
been to
biggest thing is like
Saskatchewan. I
not
wanna go.
having, we can't have like a Burt McCracken playing a dad, because Burt
Yeah.
McCracken has to exist in the world of
As
these
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
characters.
you're kind of doing that thing where it's like
Yeah.
movies
I
do,
just
where
think
certain
that's
things
weird.
exist in the world. Like if those bands
Yeah.
exist, they can't be there as characters too.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like when Harrison Ford is shrinking makes a Indiana
Star Wars or
Jones
yeah.
reference, and I'm like, you shouldn't be
You
allowed to
can't.
do that. You
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
like you are that character. That makes
There's a
sense.
Gilmore Girls episode where they're watching The Sopranos and vice versa or something like
Oh,
that,
that's
like
right.
things
Well,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's crazy.
You
So I
mentioned
need to
music.
avoid that, but I think you'll fit in. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do anything you
Rob's
need.
the scene. Rob's he could be.
Just let me slip in there. Yeah, I'll drive.
Yeah,
I'll drive a cab. I don't give a fuck.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. There's in the very beginning when he's trying to get in the show, there's a guy like trying to get into the show for free. You can play that guy.
Oh, that's
Yes!
perfect.
Please, that's such
perfect.
a Rob role for him.
That's so dead on. God damn, please.
You better put more of that protege on your face to make yourself a little bit younger, though.
No, I'd pull it off. You get me back up in that prairie air for a week. The smog will rub right off my shit. I'll be good. I'll be so good.
Oh my God.
You mentioned music supervisor. I just emailed. I can't remember her last name. Alexander. She was the music supervisor for like the OC and stuff like that. What
cool.
TV show or movie do you think has the best soundtrack?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, that's a question I feel like I can't even answer. I've only seen, I think, the first season of the OC. I'm not like
Best
a big
season.
TV. I'm not a big TV guy. I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I don't know if I have an answer for that question. I don't know. I'm embarrassed that I don't have.
Here, better question. What's your favorite music video that that you really feel like may have helped define how you approach your process in making music videos or the way you tell your stories?
That's a great question. These are hard questions. I have a movie that I have an easy answer, and he is a music video director, but it's his movies that have been extra defining. Well, so his name's Michel Gondry. He directed Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh yeah.
So that's like one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Little Miss Sunshine. I'm tripping.
Oh no, this is the Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, Elijah Wood.
Wow.
It's a great film.
But it's like I love like really depressing kind of relationship drama kind of things, but I also love like whimsy and magic when it's not like I'm not talking like Harry Potter, but like when there's just a little something that's off kilter. So I love movies that are like Being John Malkovich or Her, Eternal Sunshine. And I didn't realize it until recently, but I rewatched Eternal Sunshine, and they have this scene where everything's like disappearing because they're erasing the memories. And I was like, oh my God, I like kind of stole this for Constance. And that was not like an intentional, like, not stole, you know what I mean? But like inspired. It was so
like
in
songwriters, like you same thing where it's like, oh, there's a thing like this that I bit from that. Like it's interesting to think like you're gonna do the same thing in
But it was just so like instinctual of like, oh, that affected me in ways that I didn't even know. So subconsciously when I was writing Constance, which is about my grandma going through dementia, when she's losing kind of her memories and all her sense of self, everything like disappears in her home. And I was like, it's very, very similar. And I was like, oh shit. So that's probably the one. I'm trying to think of like a music video. I have a lot of music videos I love, but I don't know if there's one that like defines why I got into music. Like I'm a big fan of Take On Me, because I used to want to be an animator. So that music video is like iconic. I was super into stop motion. So Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel is a really big one. So
the only good thing to ever come out of Genesis is the
Sledgehammer
video.
So we have arguments about Phil Collins and Genesis a lot. So okay.
Oh no way.
Yeah, we did.
Well, that's a great music video. So, but I'm trying to think, like in the modern era of music video directors, like in the scene, Max Moore is like the guy who's been the biggest inspiration to me. And I'm sure you've seen plenty of his music videos because he's done a little bit of everything. And he has like if I am to continue in music videos, that's like the career I'd want to be like that diverse and work with that many different clients. But yeah, it's funny that I do music videos, but it was never like, oh my God, I saw this music video
I
and
need to
this
be a
made
music director.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love a lot of those. Actually, I think it is. Oh, I'm trying to think of if it is The Used or My Chemical Romance, but the Mark Webb used to direct a lot of
He did
those music
before
videos, and he was
Spider-Man. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and yeah, he had some like iconic videos of that time. Oh man, I feel see this is the
Underrated
stuff I'm
Spider-Man
like, should I
films
prepare
too.
for anything? I could have done some like
Oh, this
deep
is
diving
Rob
into
going off the.
myself.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of this when you emailed me. Like
Yeah, you
I'd
wouldn't
never
have
thought.
it.
All I was thinking about when I was like, I want to talk about how at the beginning of this, he's getting a Slurpee, and in Canada there's better Slurpee selection in Canada, and they're
Mm.
better and they're more popular up there. And I wanted to know if you knew that as well. Like down here, maybe you get like 2 or 4 flavors at a place. Up there, you 8, 12, 16 on the regular.
Yeah.
Even like ice cream places, I feel like are a bigger deal in Canada, which is fucking weird. Like the Dairy Queen line in Grand Prairie, I used to work there. It'd be like a 20-minute wait.
Wow. Yeah, Dairy Queen's my constant. That's my guilty. I go to Dairy
Pleasure.
Queen way
I
too
don't know,
much
Rob.
for
You need to go
blizzards.
to Dairy Queen in Kentucky because that could also be like a
Do they have the
20
food there? Do they have the food
Oh yeah,
too?
the
Okay,
whole thing.
yeah, they used to have this
Yeah.
flamethrower when I worked there. I'd go around back and
Yeah.
I'd smoke some weed and eat one of the flamethrowers with a
Yeah.
poutine.
Yeah. I think you're just in the wrong part of the United States.
Yeah, that's really is. I just
That's what it is. Yeah.
I'm in the wrong
But
bubble.
speaking of the creation of your music videos and your films, so I'd be curious about this in terms of the way you are choosing to film the narrative for the short film, right? Because it's Casey taking a bunch of different pieces of footage and trying to piece it together, very Memento
Mhm.
style, right? So what
Mhm.
made you want to take that approach to telling the story instead of like a straight like narrative, starting from the beginning and ending at the end? Like, what made you want to choose that approach?
Like that was always because like Casey's character, like
Yeah,
there's a protection from being behind the camera, which I'm learning through writing the movie. I realized like, holy shit, I'm dealing with a
Started
lot of these.
therapizing
Yeah,
yourself almost. You're like, oh
exactly.
shit, like
Yeah,
you're
I'm
like, what's
like,
wrong with this guy? As you're
I
writing
sent
it
my
out.
brothers the feature film script and was like, what do you guys think? They did not give a fuck. Like and I was like, oh no, I'm still that kid. Like my brother was just giving me notes on like, no, I wasn't like this, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I thought it would be more about the band, like that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm
And I'm
still
like,
the little brother.
I'm still that kid who like wants my brothers
deep
to
down.
like care about, because my whole world was them. And then like as I started making stuff, it's not like the roles reversed.
No,
It was
yeah.
just like, oh, I guess Dylan does stuff and blah blah blah, and our lives kind of
Were you
went in
a
different
Christ Court
directions.
kid too? Actually,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
grew up Catholic. So there's that element in the film, and like there's a big part of like I don't know if I held on to my beliefs so long because I wanted to be like out of my brothers, the one that still did for my mom, because she was
Yeah.
very religious, and my brothers were both like there's a scene in the feature film where they're just like just after church, they're just beaking the hypocrisy of
it's the most
religion
fucking
and
Canadian thing ever said on the show.
yeah, and all of that stuff and whatever, and the mom's just like taking it and
Ugh.
whatever. But then they're still like pulling favors from a guy at church, so they're, you know what I mean? Like
They're
Yeah.
still
they'll
kind of
take something
benefiting from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is a really important, because the whole part is like every aspect of Casey's life are things where he's unsure if like, is this my identity or is it my identity because I want the person I care about to
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like it's
Am
my
I trying to?
identity.
Yeah. Am I trying to fill a void? Yeah. Am I trying to impress my mom?
Yeah,
Or
and my brothers
or
for
a
this,
girl
like,
or my friends? Yeah.
yeah, and it's not until the end that it all kind of crumbles, which is like a good thing. But yeah, in doing it, I learned that I'm still going through. Wait, what was your main question? You had an actual. I'm like, I have a full answer
the
for
why
this.
you chose to film it in the
Oh,
like
the
to choose a
camcorder.
narrative
Yeah.
with using the found footage and piecing it together instead of like a straight narrative. Yeah.
So there was always going to be the camcorder aspect,
Yeah.
because that is like Casey's way
Yes.
into the world.
You talk shit about the younger generation for like always being on their phone and stuff. Like we would have been like filming your buddies. It was
I
like
would
such
have been.
like
Oh, yeah.
skateboarding, like even just at parties, like people have been on this
I
shit
am
forever.
glad I didn't have a phone till the end of grade 12. I'm glad I skipped out on a little bit of that, because
What
now
year was
it is
that?
like
Was that you got what 2009?
I graduated in 2011.
Okay. 20.
So I'm a
Damn, you
little-
didn't have a phone till 2011. So you never had like a
Good for you.
chocolate or anything cool like
No,
that. No.
So all my friends. So that's another
the
like there's
chocolate.
T9 or whatever in the feature film, but there's not like Casey never has a phone. Like I was a little, I don't know, like insulated, I guess, from
Yeah.
a lot of various things. So it always had like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and I think to me that's what makes the story a little interesting, because you're
Yeah.
all supposed to get into the scene to like find yourself. It's
Yes.
like, oh, I don't belong in like the normie world. I belong here. These are my people. And then Casey's like, dang, I feel like I don't fit in either of those worlds. Like there's parts of me that reside in both, but as a whole,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like, where's my place?
What's the name of the
Um,
kid in Almost Famous? That's kind of almost what the
Mhm.
character
Oh,
reminds
yeah,
me of
that's
too.
true,
Where there's
yeah.
that like naivete or whatever to it.
Totally.
Naivete.
That's
I don't know.
also a huge
Influence.
inspiration
Yeah.
for the film. So that's very kind. But the
Yeah.
camcorder, yeah, it is like in the short film, because we can't convey it all and it has to be
Yeah.
like an abridged version, it made more sense for it to be a little bit more like almost music video-y
Yeah.
memory, where it's
Mhm.
like, oh, we're slowly understanding it like Casey. It's a little bit more linear in the feature film. Like there's,
Yeah. Okay.
unless we decide in the edit that there's some disjointedness to happen, as it's written, there's not.
Yeah.
Where in the short film it was like, oh, the ending is actually going back to the middle of the story to
Yeah.
complete, when she leaves, because she's staring at Elle and Rodney kind of fooling around on the skateboard,
Yeah.
and you think, oh my god, she must like Rodney or whatever.
Yeah. Not realizing.
And then later, when she takes him to his her solo place under the bridge and stuff, there's comments that she makes about him existing and whatever, and it's like,
Yes.
Casey doesn't exist. He's always filming the world around him, and that's what he loves, but he never exists in the world.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah. But man, I'm so bad at answering this question. In the actual narrative, it is just like, it is more linear, but it is
Okay.
an important aspect of like, we're still seeing the world through how Casey sees it because of how he captures it. Same
Yeah.
as that montage of like them dating. Like that's such
Yeah.
a good device to show like a relationship happen, because I remember
Of
doing that with
course.
so many of my friends of like, oh, I made a montage of like our hangout and it's just nothingness, but it feels so
It's sick though.
special.
Important.
And
Yeah.
It's sick.
yeah.
Even
I
now,
love that.
like a music video, like any sort of music video that feels like that, like
Mhm.
immediately wins me over.
Same.
Mm.
Yeah. I think
Cool.
so too.
I'll
What
write
was
that
your
down.
first? What was your first? Because I would have had to grow up probably going to see some of the same bands, like at Canadian, like youth group places, and because that was really the only places to play in Alberta. Like,
Mhm.
what was what was your favorite Canadian Christian alternative band?
Canadian Christian? Specifically, like, that's a good question. Oh, we had a band, I think they were Christian. We had a band in Saskatchewan called Means that were like one of the first like iconic bands in my life.
Oh,
They were like the
okay.
one of two bands from Saskatchewan that was like, they could really go somewhere. It was them
Yeah.
or the polar opposite band, the Holly Springs Disaster, who were like, let's get fucked up, like
Yeah.
Kind of went the other
debauchery.
way there, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
but also awesome. Like that band, if you hear anyone quote a band from Saskatchewan, it's always the Holly Springs Disaster. But Means was like a super, super special band. But like, yeah, all my Christcore was like very, and I know they're American, but it was like the Devil Wears Prada was like a huge band
I was
for
gonna
me.
say, yeah, if you're 2011,
Yeah.
yeah, double like it
Oh,
would,
yeah,
but
100%.
Under Oath was probably
Under Oath too. Like,
Under Oath, yeah, but like
the-
late 2000s, 2010, 20, like Devil Wears Prada were running shit in that world.
They were.
yeah, and like Under Oath, there's something about finding a band. Like Under Oath was I
Yeah, they're too
listened
big.
to them, but they were almost my brother's band. So they were so big that you
True.
want to find a band as they're coming up. So that was Prada for
Say it
me.
all the time. Yeah.
And to the point that when I was in high school, I did so I went to a Catholic high school and I did an assignment where we all had to pick a song and like speak about the lyrics and show the music to the class. And I picked a Prada song because I wanted to show that like not all metal music was like demonic. And I was like, look, this song, let's break down the lyrics. This song's actually about baptism and blah, blah, blah. And
Beautiful.
And now I think about that and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cringy.
Fucking dork.
I'm not religious anymore, but it's funny. It's a weird thing to like hold on to those things and try to like prove that's such an important aspect when you're actually not sure in any of those moments.
Yep.
But I'm sure that's religion for a lot of people. And there's
I
nothing.
think
I'm not
so.
saying I don't know if you're religious. Not saying there's anything wrong with it.
I went to Catholic school in high school too, but not because my family was not religious at all. We were just like the principal's husband was like our family lawyer, so they sent me there because she'd watch us. And like same thing. Like there were I live in kind of like a godless bubble now, but like, and so like there was a lot of those kids that were kind of like teetering on it. Like they kind of had like a lot of stuff just like built into them. And it's like, I'm not really sure they believe it, like you have to like kind of really go through your own thing, whether or not you decide to, but like, it's kind of that weird in between thing of like not being sure. I was like a lot of those kids. There were certain things that just would flip a switch that like was still a religious thing, yet they'd be drinking like Everclear before class, just
right. Yeah, totally. Some of the religious kids were like the freakiest for sure.
Yeah, that was our thing in town too. Was like, no, the kids at St. Joe's were worse than the kids at the comp. Yeah.
There's a lot of like all the teen pregnancies were at our school and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Magical.
Magical time.
I need to know before we let you go. Normally I'd ask Mount Rushmore, but Canadian, Mount Tommy Douglas, I guess. What's your Mount Tommy Douglas of the four greatest Canadian bands in our general scene?
Canadian
so you can leave out Rush and the Hip and stuff. Yeah. Disclaimer.
But in like the scene, like definitely for bands for me that were like, and I know there's going to be bands that maybe I don't say are bands that it's like, oh, well, they're not that big, so maybe they shouldn't count, but they were
big Mount
to
Tommy
me.
Douglas.
Yeah, but like Alexis on Fire for sure.
Yeah,
is like top icon. I was just watching a clip from one of their, I think it was on Much Music, like one of their first appearances on it. I was like, damn, this still gives me feelings that like I still listen to this. Like I'm a forever scene kid, core kid, whatever. But like I don't feel the same way. Like I'll like it, but I'm like, damn, like there's something missing. There's not as much of that raw energy that music from like 2004 to like 2007, 2008 had. Because everything has like perfect production now. And
I think I was going to say a lot of it is the production
it
got too good. And it didn't have like the same slight frantic energy and little mistakes that weren't mistakes that made it cool.
Yeah, like to me, the mistakes are what makes it beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for like
now.
Metal is so, it's supposed to be like, the counter to like pop music and whatever. And
that should
the aggression should mean something. And there's bands that I listen to where it's like, it's screaming, but I'm like, but I don't hear the feeling behind those. And sometimes it's a vocal style. Like there are certain bands, like even when I listen to, even though they're a more fun band, the way the singer from Hot Mulligan sings, I feel more because it's just like, man, you can almost feel his vocals must hurt to do what he does.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I big into Hot Mulligan. Alexis on Fire would be a big one. Sum 41 was like my first big, and like they're an interesting one because the scene kind of has both pop punk and metal. And Sum 41 was one of the first bands that like you could tell were and it's weird. I didn't think about it until way later in my life of like how they probably were some of the first like metal-esque things I listened to because it was never their like main bit, but there were always jokes or riffs that were like, if we were.
I remember at the end of All Killer No Filler, there's like that little metal song they do. And in the extended version of Fat Lip, it plays, but it's like
Yeah.
It's a joke
And
song, but it's like, yo, they're kind of heavy. Like
that's where my Hotmail came from, was the Sum of Darkness, because it's like, when the Sum of Darkness,
yep.
whatever.
Sick.
Okay, those are two. Trying to think of all the Canadian bands. Like for me, my favorite band who's in the film is Dead and Divine, so I'm like, I feel like I can't not include them,
Makes sense.
even though they never got as big as they deserved. Fourth band. This is so bad. Like, I think a lot of people would say Silverstein, and I've seen Silverstein
I forgot.
so many times, but they were never like my band.
Mm.
Like, I like, so like they're good, but I was never like, oh my God. And maybe it was because they came too often. I don't know. There was something about it, was like every show was Silverstein.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Silverstein.
Oh, why can't I think of a fourth band? I did have a Simple Plan phase. I did have a
Is that a
It's not the
Canadian rite of
same.
passage?
I think if you were like probably like a year, anyone like a year or two younger than me, probably, yeah.
Yes.
I'm like blanking on what bands are Canadian right now.
Because if you let me jump on that, I would throw in Boys Night Out. I don't know if you fuck with Boys Night Out. I would.
You know what? I don't know them very well. Someone told
There
me
you go.
their album Trainwreck. They're like, you
Trainwreck.
have to
It's
hear
the
this
best
album.
concept record in our world. Oh, it's so fucking good, bro. Ah,
I need to really give that a full listen,
There we go.
because I have a friend who's like, that is the album that like changed his life. What are your other three? Give me your three and I'll steal one.
I would take Sum 41 as well. Definitely Alexis on Fire. Boys Night Out.
It's hard.
Fourth one is really tough. Because I don't really Silverstein. I didn't care much for Silverstein.
Yeah.
And like Gob, I guess Gob was bigger.
I just saw
Gob
them.
was bigger.
Actually, with Sum 41. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gob was bigger.
Gob was bigger, like in Canada.
But they
Treble
never felt
Charger,
like
but they're
my
fucked up.
band. Like my dad listened to a lot of Gob, and like there were a few songs I was like, this is sick, but it was never my band.
I think 3 is fair. I think the Canadian, if we're gonna go off dollar, like the Canadian, the amount Tommy
That's
Douglas
true.
would be 75 cents to the dollar here.
I bet
Yes.
there's other bands that I'm like, I bet other people would say like Billy Talent.
Oh,
and,
why
like,
didn't I think of
probably-
Billy Talent?
I had a big Billy Talent phase.
That first record, I remember when that record and the Alexis on Fire record with like 44 Caliber came out at the same time, and I saw them both on Much Music, and then like the next week my mom shipped me to live with my dad in California, and nobody had heard of these fucking bands.
It's
and like
crazy.
I couldn't even find their CDs in the store, and I'd be like trying to tell people about them. It's like this guy, like Billy Talent, because like he sang really fucking weird too to me. Like he kind of would like jump between these different voices, and I'm trying to describe it to people, and I'm doing so bad.
Yeah. It's so sad that those bands didn't. I think Alexis on Fire maybe finally broke through. I think.
Yeah.
They're because there's bands like that in Canada. They're like arena bands, and then they come here and they're playing like 800 cap venues, and like I think that like Simple Plan broke through. Sum 41
Alexis
broke
on
through.
Fire is too big to not, or too good.
Yeah, no,
to
Alexa,
not be way
that
bigger.
to me. Our friend
Yeah.
Matt Batiste, who has a podcast too, who you should talk to.
Yes, for sure.
We met over. I made a post about how Alexis on Fire should, like, compared to how big they are in Canada compared to here, like it's a fucking travesty. And there's a bunch of like Americans from like Michigan and Buffalo being like, "What do you mean Billy Talent's huge?" I'm like, "Bro, you're basically in fucking Canada." Like or Alexis on Fire's huge. I'm like, you live close to the border, you might get more runoff, but like they're not as big here as they should be. Like they're not playing where the Lakers play, but they're playing. They, you know, at one point they're definitely playing where the Canucks played. You know,
For sure. Man, there's got to be another band. What bands are from Vancouver?
see, I'm thinking. I start diving into. I start diving into slightly more indie. I would think if I'm going to fill it out, I'm making a different one that's that's Tegan and Sarah. It's Stars. It's Broken Social Scene, and it's Metric. Like I'm going like
what about Lights?
The Wedge. Like it's the Wedge. Lights. Lights. Oh yeah, Lights is Canadian. Fuck.
Yeah.
Mariana's Trench. That was after my time. I didn't.
You know what? You could put if we're gonna, not that this, I still like the one album. I'm gonna put Avril Lavigne on there. If we can't put a fourth, Avril Lavigne
You
deserves
gotta
to be
put
on there.
yes, the
There we go.
Canadian
We can
pop
live with
punk
that.
princess. Yeah, there we go.
You mentioned Sum 41 though, and I've long held this belief that the Fat Lip video is the most like inherently Canadian music video of all, like Townie music video, because it's like they're kind of like dirty kids, they're kind of hip hop, they're kind of metal, they're kind of punk, they're kind of white trash, but they're fucking
Yeah.
cool, and it's like it just feels very like in the same way that like when I watch Letterkenny, I've never been to Ontario, but it feels like it captures
Right.
Grand Prairie as well. Like I think Townie Canada is kind of the same no matter where you are in the country. Like in the same way, I'm sure like middle of nowhere America is kind of the same vibe. And like
most definitely.
yeah, like the scenery might change a little bit. You know, you might have different kinds of trees, but it's the same kind of like, okay, we can go to the convenience store. We got enough money. You have a fake ID. You can get cigarettes. You know, like we get some candy and some slushies or something.
100%.
Magical.
I know.
I love that.
I know. All right, so Dylan, people can watch this right now on YouTube, correct? Our Last Days as Kids, they can watch that. Correct?
Where else can they watch it? Because the commercials piss me off.
Well, I have premium, so that's piss me off.
Oh, Amanda here is a homeowner. She's a
I'm a homeowner.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm a simple serf.
That finishes the licensing conversation actually, because it's like we paid the licensing fees to get it, like to use the music, but to put it in festivals and whatever. But we would have had to pay double to have it on YouTube for us to like make money off of it. And I was like, we can just have it with ads. They get the AdSense or whatever. So that's why it has ads. Because I was like, you know, this short film cost 50 grand Canadian total.
Yeah.
And that's like without calling in, like we called in a shit ton of favors. We were shooting it on like the best camera you can get, and we got sponsored for lenses. A lot of people were working for free, and it still cost that much. Like music alone was probably 10 grand.
Wow.
And that's without the extra licensing. Cause I was like, man, I've gone for broke on this film. I'm like, I can't. And like, what I'm going to spend 10 more grand to make maybe $1,000 off this movie, or $500. Like it just didn't make sense. So I'm sorry. I know there's ads. We've had some complaints of like,
no,
it
it's all
ruins the whole
good.
experience. Actually, you know what?
My issue isn't with you. It was with YouTube. I wouldn't even think for a second to get mad at you.
I did just upload it to Vimeo. Not that I want people to like go check. I'd rather you watch it on YouTube, because that view count is going to have way more power when because we are pitching into to investors. I'm going to do a small trip to Winnipeg next month and talk to a producer who maybe has interest and who actually has produced movies. So fingers crossed. But like for you, if you've seen the film once and have given us the YouTube view,
I'll run it on YouTube a few times.
Watch on Vimeo, and it's higher quality there. There's no ads, but like the view, like no one goes on Vimeo.
No, I get it.
Vimeo's like a filmmaker portfolio website essentially. But yeah, YouTube, and then we are on like TikTok and Instagram just to like promote the project. I'm sure that's how we all found each other.
That's right.
But those social medias are just like to like, how do I get this out into the world? Some of it has been, it's hard. I've run out of content to like promote this 20-minute film. So,
you can only run 20 minutes. You know, you could
before you give the whole thing away.
Before you literally just give every fucking part of the movie away.
I've made like, especially on TikTok, I've made like 50 plus videos of the same like teaser trailer with different music slightly rearranged.
Basically, you're gonna make it like Quibi, where it's like the five, like the
I was gonna say, how many TikTok? In Canada, you can't even get money on TikTok. Oh, that's fucked up. I forgot. I was gonna say everyone's over 10,000 followers. You make every clip a minute and like 5 seconds, and you just give them the whole movie, and someone's gonna sit on there and watch through it.
We had someone upload the whole movie to TikTok like a few days after it came out, and I had to like, hey, can you
not someone with you, just some random motherfucker? Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And they were like, we're just trying to help promo it. And I'm like, I get it, but it's more helpful if they're going to where we put the film.
Not
and like, imagine it did go viral on their TikTok. It'd be like, okay, now no one knows that they cut out the credits at the end too.
Oh,
so
they did.
You know what I mean? So it was a whole ordeal.
Yeah.
They were trying to help, but
I know. Brutal.
who knows? Maybe I'll put on TikTok. I'll make a vertical version. We shot it ultra wide, so it'll be a real shame to.
Right,
Like I said,
yeah.
Make it Quibi clips, then just part 1 of 1, and everyone will just keep scrolling through till I get to
Does Quibi still exist?
No, it does not.
It does not.
Okay.
But I can't get it out of my head because like they tried to make it such a thing. Kevin Hart was doing stupid stuff on there.
They had a good 3-month run there. Yeah, there's a Kardashian show on there, right?
Them and Movie Pass, man. Like things that just don't work.
Maybe Quibi will finance the film. We've had some people be like, "Can you make it a series instead?" But I feel like that'd be much more challenging.
Dang, stories to tell and like
if someone wants to come along and give the bag for it, like Crave, I guess Crave is the Canadian equivalent. Like, someone like that wants to come along and finance it. You're like,
I'll make the movie
seasons.
with Crave. That would be sick. But I don't know. It's going to be an expensive endeavor. We've had people be like, because we raised $30,000 on Kickstarter to make the short.
Damn.
We've had people now that our film has been seen, and we have like 15K on TikTok and 7K followers on Instagram, which isn't bad for like a short film.
That's damn good.
So people have asked like, oh, where can we help like finance the feature? But I'm like, imagine we had like a GoFundMe and we raised like $20,000.
Yeah.
What can we can't do anything with that. So it's like, it feels like taking people's money for like, I can't.
Yeah.
That's
I
less
need all
than what
of it. Yeah, that's not going to do it.
The only way we could do it, and I don't know if I want to do a crowdfunding again, but like if we could had the prospects of like we could raise $500,000 on Kickstarter. At least it's an all or nothing thing. So if you don't raise the money, whatever. But like we don't have the audience that we could raise that much money.
Yeah.
Like I could see us maybe raising like somewhere between 50 and 100 to make a feature. So right now we're just trying to get like the word out about the project, build the audience, because I think that is the power of like if we show investors like, you go on YouTube and there's 550 comments of people being like, oh my God, like this was my life. It's like, that's powerful. So you guys go comment on YouTube and then everyone listening, watch the film and comment what you think on YouTube. It helps a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to go leave a comment right now.
There goes. Yeah. Rob's doing
this
it.
Sucks.
Fuck this guy. Whoever he's based off of. Also, P.S. Too many ads. Why didn't you just make up fake bands instead?
The band that plays at the show is a fake band, but
other than that,
local band.
I want the camcorder's not accurate to that moment. That camera came out in 2006. It would have been obsolete.
We have had some comment, and it's like, it's a low budget short film. There's going to be like all the clothes was donated and like,
nice.
found and whatever. But like there's the odd, we've had some people be like, that Against Me shirt is technically from like 3 years later. And we're like,
what?
We fucking Gary Gatekeeper coming in here. Like,
And like that happens in multi-million-dollar movies, right?
All
like,
the time, yes.
All the time.
I think there was a big thing where people were like saying certain things from Stranger Things. It was like, this didn't exist yet, and blah, blah, blah. Or like, this M&M package was slightly different in this, if this was 80 whatever year the last season took.
Dorks.
We did the final season. But there's going to be things like that, especially in our short film. I remember when we were putting up, because our whole, same with the wall is covered in like posters of like alt press magazine, because we all, that was the thing we all read.
I used to steal those from the Prairie Mall,
Yeah. And I remember we put it up and I saw like a brand new Blink 182 logo, like from their California album.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, we can't have that. And they were like, well, if we cover up halfway, like at least it covers up space. People aren't going to know that this is Blink. Blah, blah, blah. But it's like, you have to. We only have so many resources. Now, if we made a feature, the hope would be to like connect with labels and be like, send us like OG merch that never got used. I think it's the perfect movie for like, brand deals are like really tacky in most movies. This is the movie where it's like,
this is the movie to do it. Yeah.
We can have Vans all over this movie, or Converse, or Warped Tour promo, like, because it's, our world was like Monster cans, or you know what I mean, like
Johnny Minardi We need you to send a lot of fueled by ramen shit.
Yeah, come on,
Up to
Johnny.
Saskatchewan.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. Like if we could
Yeah.
connect with those labels and
That's-
stuff, I think it's like beneficial both ways. 'Cause
I
our world
literally
needs
just hounded. I guess you can say I harassed or threatened maybe or tried to bully Epitaph Records and being like, go through your archives, and if you have anything for old Punkoramas, anything you'd send to record stores, for Oscar the Matches, like two bands that are kind of obsolete, like irrelevant bands that you had that weren't as
Right.
that I love. It's like, if you have any of those things from like 2005, send them to me. Like it's like. I know these labels, they have them still, like
somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a warehouse or something.
it's gonna up your guys. All your back catalogs are gonna do better.
It's true.
totally. Yeah, that's
Yeah. It's a good
that's
dream.
the dream though. Will the movie happen? I don't know. If someone
I'm
is
gonna help me.
rich and
I want
listening
this
to
shit to
podcast,
happen. Yeah.
Yep.
Which one of y'all out there got money? I'm asking
Yeah.
you for this now because this is my chance to break into a film. I've only been in one feature film before, and it was an adult film. I need
You're
something. Yeah. Well, I wasn't doing anything like I'm in a movie called L.A. Pink. It's a play on L.A. Ink, starring
Okay.
Cap Von D. I'm like the frat boy douchebag in there getting a
Starring
tattoo.
Cap Von D?
Or not Cap. No. It's based on Cap Von D. It's Joanna
Uh-huh.
Angel, my friend Joanna. She has a company, Burning Angel, and I'm in the movie. Like Rob LaFoon doesn't have an IMDb credit, but Rob Mapledick has an IMDb credit. You go look on IMDb right now. Y'all think listening to this, you think I'm fucking around? Rob Mapledick, L.A. Pink, 1 credit.
Oh man, if I could put Rob Mapledick into my movie,
You got
Yeah,
it.
big pull.
Yeah.
It's almost fate because the name was clearly an homage to Canada. There, I didn't pick that name. I had a different porno name picked out. I wanted to be White Flow. Sounded like a rapper kind of thing, but it also a little innuendo-y. But they were like, no, he's Rob Mapledick.
Are you just a background character in that film?
No, I do a fucking monologue, bro. I'm getting a tattoo. I have dialogue. I do improv. When there's the confessional scene, they explain why the tattoo means something to them. I'm getting it was the toilet in our frat house or something, and I spent so much time there throwing up after parties. And when we left, oh my God, I just realized. I'm like, yeah, this, and then I'm like, Catherine is what I called her. I got to find the full monologue. That's incredible. Yeah, that's incredible. I'm like, and then she goes to give me the tattoo, but her girlfriend walks in, and then she stops tattooing me to go do sex stuff with her, and then it shows me do the shot with the tattoo, and I realize it isn't real, and I'm like, the fuck, and that's it. But no, the quality of acting in that world is not the best, as they say. So I was Oscar worthy in that shit. They were very impressed with my improv ability, and it's because the bar was low, but I like to say it's because I do have a lot of talent as an actor. Yeah, I just haven't had my break yet, so I need this to happen. Bro.
Hey, I see it.
Thank you for understanding and feeding into my delusion. I appreciate
I
it.
promise if a feature film happens and you guys wanted to be in it and could get to the set,
I'll fucking come. I don't care.
of course you guys are invited.
Well, thank you, Dylan. I'll find a way. I want to be a mom.
I'll renew my Canadian passport. Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't have a Canadian passport, but I think I can make it up there and back.
Yeah.
Oh my
That'd
gosh.
be sweet.
Well, Dylan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of
It was
course.
such a pleasure. Our Last Days of Kids out right now to watch on YouTube. If you guys haven't, make sure you watch it, you like it, you subscribe to the channel as well, because that always helps. And then also make a comment. Put a comment down there.
Yeah, comment,
It'll
share
help
it
them.
around.
Yeah, share it.
I just while this episode was going, I just finished watching it. I gave you another YouTube stream there as well.
Oh my God.
I went into comment. I just looked right now. And I'm like, oh shit, it finished. Okay.
Now
still
people
watch
think
it.
we're botted. We
Yeah.
just got a bunch of Robs botting our
Yeah.
That sounds
If
about
I had
right,
if I
yeah.
had bots, I'd be using them on my own shit first. So I gotta get. That's not a bad idea. But I'm gonna do our stuff before I send the bots at yours. But we'll get you. Yeah, we'll do it next.
Oh, yes.
No bots.
No, thank you for
Oh.
joining us.
Of course.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
David.
You guys are amazing.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey man, it's your boy Petty Hendrix, man. You tuned in to Emo Kids Anonymous. Check it out. You did.